Investigates tonight is examining safety concerns with a popular handgun that's used by police that allegedly fires on its own without the trigger being pulled.
Our Mike Bodette found.
Like my demonstration, I want you guys. Alright. Is that a fucking 320?
Yep.
Alright. God damn it, dude. Get this gun off my range. Don't bring it back on the run. God damn.
It's dramatic body cam of a police officer rushing to help his partner who has been shot. But there are no armed suspects in sight. Turns out the officer says his own gun discharged without him even pulling the trigger.
Hang in there, buddy. Hang in there.
It's a police shooting, but not like you think.
There was a shooter?
Yeah. There wasn't? It just went off? Okay.
It just went off.
P320. This cop says it suddenly happened to him as he got out of his cruiser.
Explain to me how a gun goes off getting out of the car.
In this 2022 incident,
My gun just went off.
deputies appear shocked after Maine Sheriff Deputy David Cole says his Sig Sauer P320 sidearm fired by itself.
He wasn't even touching the thing, it just went off. Yeah, it went down, Bob.
It's still in the holster, isn't it?
Trigger?
That is correct.
Firearms instructor Chris Travis showed us how he believes the misfire happened.
The recruit officer drew his firearm out of the holster, and as it came up, the back of the firearm impacted his exterior body armor that the officers wear.
Wow.
And when that impact happened, the firearm itself discharged a bullet into the ground.
No, this is not clickbait. My Sig P320 actually did try to shoot me from the holster in the middle of a steel challenge competition. And I had reloaded my fresh magazine to get started for string 5. I reholstered the gun, and between reholstering the gun and going to my start position of high ready, the firearm went off and shot around right near my leg into the ground. So needless to say, after the round went off, I was in shock. My leg was stinging. I honestly thought I had been shot at the moment. From the 320 actually skimmed off my knife, cut the scales off. Maybe I'll get a replacement someday, but shout out to Benchmade. Your knife was tough enough to stop a 9mm and prevented me from ending up with an extra hole in my body.
Marcy Vadnais' life changed forever, instantly.
When I smelt the gunpowder and the blood smell mixed together, my first reaction was somebody shot me through one of my windows.
She was sitting in her cruiser, removing her holstered weapon from her belt, planning to leave it in the trunk while she went inside. She says her Sig Sauer P320 pistol fired on its own into her thigh, shattering her femur.
I couldn't feel my leg at all.
She spent close to a month in the hospital and at a rehab and has undergone 4 surgeries so far.
He started walking back to his car.
And all of a sudden, boom, heard an explosion.
Hang in there, buddy. Hang in there.
I thought my tire had blown on my car, but then I felt the pain.
Officer Currington was shot in the line of duty.
I didn't see any thought.
And I looked down and saw the blood.
Officer Currington started to faint but was able to key his radio.
I got on the radio to tell them where I was at and to get me EMS, and then after that I collapsed.
I hear the casing. He just told me it went off. I asked him if there was a shooter. He said no, it just went off, and he could barely get that out to me.
They asked me if his gun was holstered or if I put his gun back in, and I said no, did not touch his gun.
Started walking down the back lot towards the cruiser that I was going to take. And as I'm walking to the cruiser, I heard a loud bang and I felt a searing hot pain in my right thigh.
I placed the firearm inside the holster, inside my pocket. Then I proceeded down the steps. There's a loud explosion, and then there's an excruciating pain that's going through my thigh.
I had just shot the first of 3 rounds and reholstered the gun, and it went off. Needless to say, there was a certain expletive that was uttered. This is the holster that I was using the day of the incident. As you can see, there's absolutely no way to access the trigger when it is fully holstered.
I was working an extra duty assignment at Jefferson High School, working a baseball game the night that it happened, and it just totally shattered and blew out my ankle and leg bone. And then you can see maybe 4 screws right there and the little plate on the side. The ankle part of it and the lower part of the leg bone was totally shattered. And they had to cut out what was left and drill a hole down the middle of it to put the rod in.
Go ahead. Son of a bitch.
The video did so that we can see if we can make this thing fire. Okay, that made it fire, okay?
That's not the 320 going off.
Non-commissioned officer was killed by their own Sig Sauer M18 service pistol at no fault of their own. The pistol went off while still in the holster, hitting the sergeant in the chest and killing him instantly.
And then you start to blame it on the pistol. It ain't the pistol, dude.
What are you gonna say now?